Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the Windward Buddhist Temple Remembrance Service. My name is Naomi Kaneko, and I'll be your MC today. I'd like to thank Reverend Furusawa for officiating today's service and giving the Dharma talk. We will begin our service with the ringing of the temple bell, or Kansho, that signifies the beginning of the temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is the calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma or teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. If you are able, please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana and Ti-Sarana by everyone in Pali and English, found in the red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 7.
Ti-Sarana Gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namandav, 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 Namandav.
Please be seated. We will now chant Sambujo found in the Red Service Book on page 9, led by Reverend Furusawa. The words of the Sambujo, which invite Amida, Shakyamuni, and all the Buddhas of the 10 directions, that is, all directions everywhere, symbolize our willingness to open our hearts and minds to receive the Dharma. Sensei?
Namandav, 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 Namandav. Vejo mida nyorai niudo jo We acknowledge the presence of Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and all the Buddhas of the 10 quarters. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandav, 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 Namandav.
We will now have the remembrance of those individuals who passed away in the month of July of any year. When the name of your loved one is read, please come forward to offer incense. Reverend Furusawa will ring the bell once after each name is called. After the remembrance service is completed, Reverend will ring the bell several times and then begin leading us in the chanting of today's sutra, verses reaffirming the vow, which can be found in the Jodo Shinshu Service Book on page 117. It is the English translation of Jusei Ge, a poetic summary of the basic intention of the 48 vows made by the Bodhisattva Dharmakara, who becomes Amida Buddha. Dharmakara promises to attain supreme enlightenment, to save the poor and suffering, and to declare the universal availability of salvation everywhere throughout the universe.
Fortunate are we who, upon having heard the divine truth and having been given everlasting life, may live this human existence in peace and tranquility, be surrounded in Amida Buddha's infinite wisdom and inconceivable compassion. We honor with deep gratitude our members, families, friends, and pets of the Windward Buddhist Temple who have passed away in the month of July of any year. With deepest gratitude to the boundless, inconceivable blessing of Amida Buddha, we take eternal refuge in the three treasures of this teaching. Namo Amida Butsu, Namandab, 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 Namandab.
Amy Miyamoto, Evelyn Arakaki. Toshio Miyamoto. Paul Matsuda. Kazuo Sumikawa. Laverne Morisato. Harry and Harriet Psyche.
I have made unliable vows and will reach the highest purse if I fail in any way. May I not attain Buddhahood, should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering. May I not attain Buddhahood, I will reach enlightenment, but unless my Buddha name resounds throughout the universe, may I not attain Buddhahood, I will practice the noble path, wisely mind-free, free of greed, seek to reach the supreme way, be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and despair the darkness of the three poisons, and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddhahood, light will shine through all lands, light brighter than sun and moon, shining all heavenly lights, giving my virtues to all, not forsaking anyone. I will proclaim the Dharma like the roar of a great lion, bowing before all Buddhas, steadfastly gaining virtues, with wisdom fulfilling my vows. I shall be a guide to all, like the wisdom of my teacher. May my wisdom also shine all throughout the universe, all illumine one and all. If I shall fulfill these vows, may all tremble with joy from the heavens. One virtue of Amida's vow, issued equally by all, together attaining awakened mind, we are born in the land of peace. Namandav, 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 namandav.
If you are able, please rise for the recitation Shinshu Pledge I, found on page 6 of the red Jodo Shinshu service book, then remain standing for the Gatha, All Life is One, found on page 2 of the purple book. I take my refuge in the vow of the Buddha, reciting the name, I will live through life with strength and serenity.
I revere the light of the Buddha. I put my effort in my work with reflection and gratitude. I follow the teachings of the Buddha. This sunny right path, I expect true Dharma. I rejoice in the compassion of the Buddha. I respect and help others and do my best for the welfare of humankind. Namandav, namandav.
Seated. We will now have a Dharma message by Reverend Shingo Sensei.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for attending today's Remembrance Service at Windward Buddhist Temple. Today, I'd like to share a Dharma message entitled Overcoming Our Market. Oh, it's not overcoming our make. Market in Hawaiian, market means death, yeah? Overcoming our market. Market means death. Today, we gather to remember our deceased loved ones. As Buddhists, we recognize that everything in this world is impermanent. Nothing remains the same forever. Our own lives are no exception. One day each of us will pass away. We must also experience the passing of the people we love. None of us can escape our own market or death. How can we overcome it? Today, I'd like to reflect on 3 points. First, can we attain eternal youth and immortality? Second, how do Amida Buddha's teachings help us overcome death? And third, we can meet our deceased loved ones through the recitation of Namo Amida Butsu. Let us begin with the first point. Can we attain eternal youth and immortality? No matter how much wealth, success, or fame we gain in this life, we cannot take any of it with us when we pass away. Throughout history, many people have searched for a way to escape death and attain eternal life. One of them was Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor to unify China in 221 BC. As emperor, he possessed great wealth and power. Yet, even he could not escape death. He ordered his servants to search for the elixir of immortality, hoping that he could live forever. However, they never found it, and eventually he passed away. Perhaps his suffering was even greater than that of ordinary people, because he had so much that he did not want to lose. His story reminds us that no matter how powerful or successful we may become, none of us can escape death. It may be difficult to see from where you are sitting, but on the altar you will find portraits of the 7 masters of Jodo Shinshu. Left side of Amida Buddha, there are the 7 master drawings. One of them is Master Tan Luang. Master Tan Luang. When he was young, Master Tan Luang devoted himself to studying how to attain immortality, and eventually obtained books that claimed to reveal the way to eternal life. Later, he met a great Buddhist monk, Bodhi Ruchi, who translated many Buddhist sutras into Chinese. Master Tan Luang proudly showed him the books and asked, "Is there anything in Buddhism that is better than these teachings on immortality?" Bodhi Ruchi replied, "Even if these books could help you live a little longer, your life would still come to an end someday." Then he gave Master Tan Luang a sutra that explained the teachings of Amida Buddha. After reading it, Master Tan Luang was deeply moved. He realized that no matter how long we live, our lives in this world are limited. So he burned the books on immortality and took refuge in Amida Buddha. Even today, many people try to stay healthy by exercising regularly, eating nutritious food, and taking good care of their bodies. These are all important things to do. However, Master Tan Luang's story reminds us that no matter how carefully we live, our lives in this world are limited. Master Tan Luang gave up his search for immortality and entrusted himself to Amida Buddha. Now let us move on to our second point. How do Amida Buddha's teachings help us overcome death? Shinran Shonin, the founder of Jodo Shinshu, taught that Amida Buddha is limitless wisdom and limitless compassion. When we entrust ourselves to Amida Buddha, we live within the Buddha's boundless wisdom and compassion. Even after we pass away, we continue to live within Amida Buddha. I'd like to share a story with you. There was a young couple with two sons. Every Sunday, they came to their local Hongwanji temple to listen to the Buddha Dharma together as a family. Then one day, the mother was involved in a traffic accident and passed away. her funeral service was held at the temple. During the service, the younger son cried all the time, "Mommy, Mommy, I want to see Mommy." Hearing this, his older brother pointed the statue of Amida Buddha and said, "Mommy lives with him, Amida Buddha." The younger boy looked at the Buddha and quietly said, "Yes, Mommy lives with him, Amida Buddha." Then the two brothers put their hands together in Gassho. There was hardly a person in the temple who could hold back their tears. This story reminds us of Shinran Shonin's teaching. Those who entrust themselves to Amida Buddha continue to live within the Buddha even after they pass away. Finally, let me talk about our third point. We can meet our deceased loved ones through the recitation of Namo Amida Butsu. In addition to serving at Windward Buddhist Temple, I also serve at Honpa Hongwanji Hawaii Buddhism. Have you ever visited Hawaii Buddhism? If you have, you may have noticed that there are several altars throughout the temple. At the center of the main temple altar and the columbarium altar, you will find a statue or an image of Amida Buddha. However, the altars in the annex temple and the Nembutsu are different. Instead of a statue or an image, Chinese characters are displayed at the center of the altar. Do you know what those Chinese characters say? They are Namo Amida Butsu. In Jodo Shinshu, we understand that Amida Buddha is always calling to us through our recitation of Namo Amida Butsu. That's why Namo Amida Butsu is placed at the center of those altars. Of course, the statue and the image are also expressions of Amida Buddha. But Amida Buddha also reaches us through the words Namo Amida Butsu. Rennyo Shonin, the eighth head of the Hongwanji tradition, once encouraged his followers with these words: "If you miss me, recite Namo Amida Butsu. I to live within it." Rennyo Shonin tells us that when we miss him, we should recite Namo Amida Butsu. Because he lives within Namo Amida Butsu. The same is true for our deceased loved ones. They now live within Amida Buddha. When we recite Namo Amida Butsu, we are reminded that they are embraced by Amida Buddha's boundless compassion. As you recite Namo Amida Butsu, you can also meet your loved ones in your heart with deep gratitude. So whenever you miss someone you love, I encourage you to recite Namo Amida Butsu. Today, we have looked at two different ways of facing death. Some people have tried to escape death or live forever in this world. But Master Tanruan discovered a different path. Instead of seeking immortality, he entrusted himself to Amida Buddha's boundless compassion. Today, we too are reminded of that same teaching. Although our loved ones are no longer physically with us, they now live within Amida Buddha's boundless compassion. Whenever you miss them, I encourage you to recite Namo Amida Butsu. As you recite these words, may you be reminded that your loved ones are embraced by Amida Buddha's compassion. And may you meet them once again in your heart with deep gratitude. Again, thank you very much for attending today's Remembrance Service. ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. In closing, let us recite Namo Amida Butsu. As we do, may we meet our loved ones once again in our hearts with deep gratitude. So please put your hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandam, 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 namandam.
Thank you, Reverend Shingo, for your inspiration. If you are able, please rise for the Gatha Quest of Life found on pages 164 and 165 of the Praises of the Buddha book, and then continue to stand for the Gatha Nembutsu found on page 145 of the same book. Please be seated. Thank you for attending today's service. We will now have announcements by Dennis.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you, Reverend, for that message. And let us all remember our loved ones as we say Namo Amida Butsu. You talked about infinite life, and I know Merle tries to keep young. She has, I keep calling it vanishing cream that hides all the, That's a miracle, right? Okay, thank you again, Reverend. Thank you, Naomi, for being our MC. Thank you, Merle, for being the greeter. Thank you, Lisa, for playing the piano. And of course, Ryan, for recording today's service. Let's see. Today is the last service before our summer break. There will be no Sunday services during the month of August. So, enjoy your August. Take a nice break, travel, whatever. But we'll see you here back on September 6, 2026. We had received an email through our Windward Buddhist Temple website from someone who has been watching our services on YouTube for some time. I'll read what he wrote from Caleb. He's a 21-year-old from Texas. During his junior year in high school, his teacher was getting rid of some books, and he got a book on Zen Buddhism. But after some time, he stumbled onto our Windward Buddhist Temple website, and he'd been watching the Sunday services through YouTube for nearly 2 months. And he described how great this journey has been for him. And he really thanked us. He really appreciated the services being broadcast. We thank Ryan for putting on such a wonderful production on YouTube. I don't know if all of you have a chance, but all the services are on a website. You can go back to anyone that you recall and enjoy the service again. But we have received some messages like this on occasion, so it's really nice and heartwarming to hear back from our viewers. I want to make a special mention of members that have moved to the mainland, and they will be missed. Christopher, Emelisa, and Philomena have moved to the Seattle area in Washington State. We didn't have an opportunity to really express our well wishes to them, but we hope they have a wonderful time there, and there's a Buddhist temple nearby, so hopefully they'll have a chance to attend. But now, Aaron and Greg are also leaving. Aaron will be returning to Tacoma, Washington, and Greg, who's in the military, will be transferring to San Diego. Aaron and Greg, we all miss you a lot. Well, we will miss you. We don't miss you yet. But Bridget and Cynthia will present something for you. They've been members only for a short time, but they've contributed so much just by their presence, very welcoming, warm presence. And they've volunteered on many occasions and helped us here at Windward Buddhist. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you occasionally back here. But Merle and I do plan to be traveling to Tacoma, so we definitely will contact you. Sorry, Greg, we don't travel to San Diego much. Okay, The adult Dharma classes led by Reverend Kevin Kuniyuki will continue on August 8 and August 15. The classes will be from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Reverend Kevin will continue the discussions of the Shoshinge saga. If you didn't attend the last class in July this month, but you would want to attend, let me know. I'll give you the material that they're covering, and you can kind of catch up and join us on the, again, August 8th. Are there any other announcements? If not, it's time for refreshments. You could all join us in the words of thanksgiving. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you in September.